Karen says they don't belong here. She's talking about off-duty black firefighters. Part 1. Maple Pines was the kind of gated community where silence was prized more than kindness. The lawns were trimmed like military haircuts, the houses painted in varying shades of beige, and the residents mostly mirrored each other, white, upper class, and suspicious of anything unfamiliar. Karen Mallory, 61, had lived there for over 2 decades. A widow of a former councilman, she considered herself the unofficial watchdog of Maple Pines. From neighborhood watch emails to HOA complaints, she made it her mission to keep the community respectable. And in Karen's mind, respectable had a very specific image. That image was shattered the afternoon a group of off-duty black firefighters gathered at the neighborhood clubhouse. They were there for a charity cookout, organized to raise funds for a burn victims foundation. Part 2. I'm calling to report a disturbance, Karen said into her phone. The security guard, a young college kid named Trevor, yawned. What's the issue, ma'am? There are men at the clubhouse. Loud. There's smoke, music. They're the firefighters, right? I think it's a charity event. Got cleared by the HOA. Karen's voice hardened. Yes, but they're off duty, and they don't look like homeowners. Trevor paused. Ma'am, are you saying they don't belong here because they're black? There was a moment of silence on the line. I'm saying they don't match the neighborhood. That's all. Unfortunately for Karen, that call was recorded and leaked 2 hours later by a whistleblower. It was uploaded with the caption, Karen says off-duty black firefighters don't belong in her neighborhood. Within 12 hours, it had 1 million views. Within 24, it was on every major news outlet. Part 3, people were furious. Social media erupted. These men save lives, and this is how they're treated? Karen would rather call security on heroes than ask what they're doing. The real danger in neighborhoods like this isn't crime. It's prejudice. Photos of the firefighters surfaced, smiling, holding plates of food, standing proudly in front of the station truck they'd parked outside for the kids. Her daughter called crying from college. Mom, what were you thinking? Karen had no answer. Part 4. A week later, someone knocked on Karen's door. She hesitated before opening it. There stood Andre Mason, broad-shouldered, tall, wearing jeans and a simple t-shirt that said, Honor Through Service. Karen stiffened. Why are you here? He didn't raise his voice. Because my guys were hurting, and I figured you might be the only one who hasn't seen it. She blinked. Seen what? He handed her an envelope. Inside were printed photos. Children laughing with firefighters. A grandmother shaking hands with Malik. A moment where Darius tied a little girl's shoe. People don't always trust what they hear, Andre said, but sometimes they'll believe what they see. Karen looked away, embarrassed. I didn't mean to offend. He shook his head. You didn't just offend. You dismissed. You judged us not for what we did, but for how we looked. I was protecting the neighborhood, she mumbled, and we were protecting people's homes, yours included. Just last month, my crew was the one that responded to the fire on Elm. We don't ask about race before saving a life. He left without another word. Karen stood in the doorway, ashamed and uncertain. Part 5. It wasn't the HOA board that called the meeting. It was the residents. Flyers had gone out. A town hall-style gathering in the community center. Her voice shook. I've made a terrible mistake. A pause. I said things I can't take back. Words that revealed something ugly inside me. Something I didn't even realize had grown. I judge people who have done nothing but serve us, protect us, and lift up our community. She looked at Andre. I'm sorry. No excuses, no spin, just truth. I know I don't deserve forgiveness, but I'm here because I want to change. Not just for me, but because silence has protected people like me for too long. The room stayed quiet. Then Andre stood. Change doesn't come from speeches. It comes from what you do next. Karen nodded. I understand. Part 6. And she meant it. In the weeks that followed, Karen didn't disappear. She showed up. She volunteered at the next fundraiser hosted by the fire department, setting up tables, handing out flyers, pouring lemonade. She sat through every community bias training offered by the local diversity council, never once asking for credit. She went on a local news program, not to defend herself, but to call for compassion without condition and respect without restriction. Her voice cracked when she said, "I once said those men didn't belong. Now I hope they know this neighborhood is better because of them, and I hope they'll forgive me, even if I never deserve it." The clip went viral. Again, she worked side by side with Darius and Malik, directing kids to CPR demos, restocking snacks and laughing, not performatively, but naturally. At one point, a young black mother approached Karen quietly. "I saw the video," she said. "The first one and the second." Karen braced herself. The woman smiled. "You give me hope. For people like you. For people like me." Karen's eyes filled with tears. "Thank you," she whispered. "I still have a long way to go." The woman nodded. "We all do." A few months later, Karen placed a wooden bench outside the community clubhouse. On it, a plaque read, "In honor of those who serve, regardless of how they look, where they come from, or what others assume." It became a quiet symbol in the neighborhood. Kids sat there to eat popsicles. Old men rested there after walks. Firefighters passed it and nodded. Karen sat there too, often. No longer watching like a judge. Now simply being present. Not perfect, but better. The end.